Hello all you beautiful people and welcome to the channel. I am Percy Man and this is the top 5 Superman, okay? Not Supermen, Superman. These guys playing the same guy. The champs, the top 5 of all time, discluding animation, okay? Moving on, we've got number frickin' 5. This guy fits the mantle, 6'3", 190 pounds, you know, he's pretty much exactly up there with number 1, who we're going to talk about at the end of this video. And I've pretty much based a lot of other people on number 1, and you're probably going to figure it out yourself along the way. Tom Welling played the role well, even though it seemed like he didn't take the role seriously. His performance said otherwise, and yeah, he basically plays his own version of Clark, and him and Lex are in this alternate timeline than all the other Supermen actually on this list. Some big differences being that Lex grew up in Smallville with Clark, and that Lex also becomes President of the United States, and that also Lana Lang becomes his wife. Those are some big differences, obviously, from the main canon. So it's a nice, interesting take. I really like the depth between him and Lex. They're got a lot of charisma on the show together. I wish they brought Lex back for that episode, but they already had the guy from 2.5 Men playing Lex. His powers are probably the most dumbed down in Tom Welling's version, just because the fact that he's supposed to be like Superboy growing up, but he is Clark Kent still. And basically, towards the end and at the end, he's got his he starts to show his true powers, and obviously he gets some fan service. Maybe wears a certain outfit. In final, Tom Welling, a lot of hours of Superman. Big fan growing up, watching that, thinking, yeah, he fits the picture, he fits the bill. Top 5, Tom Welling, that's his spot. Number 5. Number 4, Henry Cavill. People think he's number 1. I think he's a little bit far from it, but he makes the list just barely. I would say pretty much tied with Tom Welling. This was the hardest split decision I could come up with between all 5 of these people, and he's in 3 movies: Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League. 2 of them were terrible. One of them's pretty dang good. Seems weird to me having more than one release of a single movie. Like, just come up with your idea, do it, execute it the way you should and plan to do it. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you fail to follow through with a plan, especially like when he had the mustache issues. Like, I'll put it up on the screen. I don't even want to talk about it. And well, basically, this guy's 6'1", 200 pounds, pretty much fit in the mantle. He's a little bit shorter than number 1, but not by much. And I would have to say, Man of Steel, I really liked how he portrayed him. He does well as like being an evil Superman, as in Justice League. As bad as that movie was, this is kind of my favorite thing to think about, is how good are you as evil Superman, because that's part of the gig, right? You can't just be good Superman. You got to be just as good as being evil, because that's gonna be in a lot of stories. Superman gets mind control, he gets resurrected, he goes berserk. There's lots of reasons that Superman can be evil. You know, clones. Who cares? You know, there's lots of reasons, and I would say he's pretty devoted to his fan base. Other than like Tom Welling having to do like his own version, obviously didn't really have to look at the source material as much. He kind of just wung it, and it worked out with the writing and with his acting paired together. But Henry Cavill, you know, he read a lot of comics. You know, probably starting with what I started reading, which is like from Death of Superman and on. Basically, what's funny about a lot of these people in there's 4 out of these 5 people. They were all cast to be like the Twilight guy. Like, all of these people were cast to be the Twilight guy. What's his name? Robert Pattinson. And which is kind of funny. And now he's gonna be Batman, and it all kind of correlates, and you can kind of see which actors they like because they keep asking the same people to do the same roles. So that is basically number 4, Henry Cavill. I hope he did more. I wish he could do more. He's in talks with Marvel now, so it's not looking good, but who knows? No one is even ready for this one. At number 3, we're coming in with Tyler Hoechlin from the Supergirl show, and now he's got his own TV show, which is freaking fantastic. I am gonna watch another episode tonight after I record this, because it just come out. It is Wednesday. He has to be the father of his new super sons, and I'm not gonna spoil it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't have powers, maybe one of them does, maybe one of them doesn't. I'm sure it's all explained like within the first episode, so it's not that big a deal. Anyways, the show was called Superman and Lois. They're killing it. Him and Lois are excellent actors. They were cast a long time ago by the CW, already being in the universe, already being who they are, and they have had to change up their story a little bit to make it work for this TV show, so it's not really crossing over with the other stuff as much yet, but you know, there's bits and spots here where they talk about the universe that they're in, and Crisis they mention, of course, which is the big event that happens in the DC CW universe, basically creating the rebirth of the comics, or the show here, or the shows. So this is pretty much like the new phase as what is coming out of it, and it's been killer. And we've seen him be evil Superman before again. He is excellent playing the role. I think there's a lot yet to be, and a lot yet to see. I think he's doing well. They're doing like crazy powers. They're doing almost like, this is probably like the most, but the highest budget CW show I've ever seen. They know they can't screw it up, or else everyone's gonna be pissed, and I'm really into it. So yeah, that's number 3. Big surprise to probably a lot of people. Coming in at number 2 is Brendan Ruth, and yeah, so basically his movie Superman Returns is the continuation of number 1's story, and they picked the right guy in the right time for this. They might have screwed up the story a little bit by giving him a son that it just didn't make any sense with what was going on, and with Lois, and it's just, I don't really want to explain that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, and you'll know what I mean. The biggest downside to this movie is that it was gonna be a trilogy, but it failed at the box office. Henry Cavill took over the role, and that's why, you know, it's a little bit weird of a movie, but excellent actor. He steals every scene he's in the DC Universe stuff. He's on the DC Legends. He's like one of the main characters in that show. He's been in every other show on the Crisis Universe crossover. He's amazing. And so basically, this guy, 6'2", 220 pounds. He put on like 20 pounds for the role, by the way. And he hits the bill like dead on. Pretty much, you know, he's maybe an inch or two shorter. Again, being an excellent Clark Kent. He does really good in the nerdy way and everything, and Tyler Hoechlin also does good with being like nerdy dad Superman so far, but we haven't seen like the actual smart nerd that you know, he can be in Superman Returns, that he can be in pretty much everything else, because his Superman ain't no dummy, even though he kind of acts like it sometimes. Basically, we see some cool effects and powers. One of my favorite scenes when he gets shot in the eye by a bullet, and the bullet just goes, and it's pretty sweet. That's the Brandon Ruth Superman, who also reprises his role in the Crisis event, and he's in a few episodes which cross over, and he plays he was not only playing Superman, he was also playing his normal character, which he plays like all the time. That's like his normal job, I'm guessing, basically, at least while this show's going. And he does perfect in that role as well. He's super nerd in that one, obviously. He's way smarter than Superman is supposed to be, I think. And then, yeah, he's the good guy. We've seen him be pretty angry. I don't know if we've really seen him be evil Superman so much, but the man has just put up the chops. He can act. He knows what he's doing. He fits the bill. Perfect continuation, I thought. You know, not like the best movie, but as far as an actor and a lot of things, it was during a time where there was really like not a lot of Superman content other than animation for me. And about 2006 or so when this came out. I might be wrong on the exact date, but yeah, it was just a nice fresh Superman. And yeah, Brandon Routh, number 2. And coming in at number 1 is the greatest of all time, Christopher Reeve. That is right, everybody. If you have not been paying attention, that is the man. That is the one. He is the guy. He is standing at 6'4", 185 pounds. Christopher Reeve was the pinnacle of health and strength and whatever, you know, good looks when these movies came out, and you know, it just kind of builds up, it moves on, but this is the man. 6'4", age 24. That is the ideal look, height, and weight you want to be for this role. He's saving cats out of trees. He's doing everything. He's the best good guy possible. He's really good at being nerdy Superman and at being good Superman and evil Superman. He's probably the most badass of the evil Supermen. With his like flicking peanuts at liquor bottles and stuff in the bar. He's going nuts, and then he fights himself, which I'm guessing is in his mind, really, because yeah, but it's still sick. It's an amazing fight scene. You know, back then they didn't really have the technology we have.
Yeah? All right. Come on, you come on, come on, come on, come on. I can't too warm for you, huh? Huh? Hey, please, come on, chicken. Let me get you. Get on my nerves for a long time. Good, get it.
Have now, and for Christopher Reeve to pull off like even half of the crap that they do in all of the movies, like there's 4 movies. A lot of people think there's only 3, but there's 4, and they are just phenomenal. If you haven't seen them, I would say check them out, because it's really would fill your weekend and would make it worthwhile, because Christopher Reeve is just the most compelling person to hit the screen with the S on the chest, and he's number 1 for a lot of reasons. Basically, he's to a T Superman, taking from the source material, learning everything about him, piece for piece, taking the role very seriously in a time where comic book movies were literally thought of as like garbage, basically. Obviously, like a lot of people still think that, but not on this channel. We don't think that, and it's crazy. It's just crazy to me. It's that people have not seen these movies. Again, not always the best, but I would say like it's got potentially one of the best Lex Luthors. We got like a lot of introductions to stuff that you wouldn't expect. All of his super speed, we got like the powers he's using. He's fighting the nuclear man who is supposed to be like created to defeat him and everything. and he still just overcomes everything and that literally defies the laws of physics. Is probably the most OP Superman on the list, just from what he's done. I would say, like, a couple powers were because of budget restraints. Like when he built the Wall of China, it was just like or something. I don't know. They were trying to, they wanted to make it so he was like using his super speed, but they didn't have the budget, so they just made it so he like stared at the wall and it built. So. He's got like some wicked magical powers that no one knows about. Anyways, I'm glad that there's a lot of stuff that they take out of like what they put into Superman now, but he's just number one. Rest his soul. Christopher Reeves, number uno on the list. That is the Superman. You know, if you've been wondering why he's been missing from my tier lists so far, or my Superman lists, there's only 2 of them if you count this one. But I've also done another list where I talk about my favorite DC TV shows. And you can check that one out and the other one out about my top 5 lesser known men who have played Superman. So we got another 5 maybe with an extra guy on that other video that you can watch, you know, whenever you want. Just click on it, you'll watch it, maybe hit the like button, do whatever you want. I don't care. Just know that this is the list. This was the most important video I've ever put on the internet. Top 5 Superman. It's Christopher Reeve, number 1.
Come on. Excuse me. Oh, back here? Yeah. Please don't point that at me, sir. You could hurt somebody with that. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Hold it there. Just a minute, mister. Just a minute. Now, I realize, of course, that times are tough for some these days, but this isn't the answer. You can't solve society's problems with a gun.
You know something, buddy? You're right. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf.
Good for you, sir. That's the spirit. See, he doesn't really want to hurt anybody.
Uh-huh.
Right after I rip off this lady's purse.
Of course.
Now, come on, lady. Hand it over.
Lois, I think maybe you better... Lois, what are you doing?
Clark! Are you all right, Clark? What happened?
Golly, I guess I must have fainted.
Fainted? You fainted?
Sorry.